Episode 4. The truth begins to break. Grace walked into the hospital with slow, heavy steps. She didn't need anyone to tell her, she could feel it in the air. Something had changed. The corridors felt tighter, the stairs lasted longer, and whispers seemed to float behind her wherever she moved. She lowered her gaze, hoping no one could see the storm in her eyes. Two investigators stood at the front desk, flipping through files and asking pointed questions. Seeing them made Grace stop for half a second. Her chest tightened. She quickly turned toward the maternity ward, hoping no one noticed her hesitation. As she worked, she felt her hands trembling. Every beep of the machines, every rustle of papers felt louder than usual. Guilt had a way of magnifying everything. By lunchtime, the investigators began calling in staff for questioning. One by one, nurses walked into the small interview room and came out looking unsettled. Grace could barely breathe. Grace Adu. Her heart jumped at the sound of her name. She stepped into the room. Two men sat across from her, badges resting on the table. Their expressions were calm to calm. "We're reviewing the events from the night. The baby went missing," the older investigator said. "We'd like you to walk us through your shift." Grace forced a nod. Of course. She tried to keep her voice steady as she spoke, but she could feel their eyes studying her too closely, picking up every pause, every tremor, every tiny lie she tried to bury beneath composure. "Nothing unusual?" the younger investigator asked, leaning forward. Grace swallowed hard. "No, nothing unusual." They exchanged a look. Not a word. Just a look, but it made Grace feel like the walls were closing in. When she stepped out of the room, the hallway felt colder. Two nurses stood nearby whispering. They instantly fell silent when Grace approached. One of them avoided her eyes entirely. Her heart sank. By evening, Grace couldn't hold it in anymore. She met the doctor behind the storage room, panic written across her face. "They're getting close," she whispered. "People are talking." "I can't." "Calm yourself," the doctor snapped. "You're drawing attention." Grace stared at him, realizing something chilling. He wasn't worried for her. He was worried about himself. That night, she couldn't sleep. She lay in the dark, hearing every question, every whisper replaying in her head. Tears filled her eyes. "I'm losing myself," she whispered, and she knew the truth wouldn't stay buried much longer. Subscribe for more interesting video on Hotgist HQ channel.